Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm Bob Thomas, known to my immediate family members and some of the members of this church, more frequently as Bobby Thomas. I thank you for coming this morning to celebrate Joanne's life. Everybody here knew Joanne in a different way. Some of you know Joanne as a member of the congregation of this very church. Some of you know Joanne as a good neighbor who volunteered in the community thrift shop and volunteered as the editor of the community newspaper. Marlene and Nancy and their husbands know her as a loving sister. Their children and grandchildren know her as a loving aunt. My son Ian knows Joanne as a proud grandmother. And my wife Maria knows her as a great mother-in-law. I'd like to talk to you a minute about who Joanne is to me. My mom died when I was in high school. I was an only child, so it was just me and my dad. We were like fish out of water. My mom had done everything for us. We struggled to take care of ourselves, let alone one another. But we made it, and we were stronger for having done so. The problem was that the next year I went away to college, leaving my father all alone. While I was in college, my dad was blessed to meet Joanne. They fell in love and got married. I was the best man at their wedding. To me, Joanne was the person who tried to persuade my father to spirit me off to Canada to avoid me being sent to Vietnam. Fortunately, the government ended the draft about a month before I was to be called up. To me, Joanne was the person who let me drive her sports car when she and my dad went on vacation. To me, Joanne was a mentor, a confidant, a supporter, the person I spoke to every day on my way home from work. In the last days, weeks, and months of her life, I was able to spend almost every day with her. Most times, my wife Maria came with me, but sometimes it was just the two of us. When it was just the two of us, I think Joanne felt more comfortable to talk candidly about how she felt and what she was going through. I can tell you this. She was well aware of what the future held for her, and she was at peace. But there was more. Joanne wasn't simply at peace with the prospect of her impending death. She was anxious for it. Not anxious about it, but anxious for it. When my dad and Joanne were married, they made certain vows to one another, and they promised to take care of one another until death they did part. But those vows don't completely reflect what they promised one another. My father was a man of faith. Joanne was a woman of faith. Although not in the vows, they also promised to take care of one another after death, when they were together again in heaven. That's what Joanne was anxious for. She was anxious to be with my father again. What more could a son ask for? What more could a son hope for? So, who was Joanne to me? Joanne was a mother to me. Joanne, I thank you for being in my life for the last 50 years. I miss you and I love you.